Hello to my Flamazing Franklin Academy artists. Welcome to Art with Miss P. Today's lesson is going to be a cross-section drawing of a garden. A cross-section is when you cut into a solid object so you can see inside it. So we're going to do a cross-section drawing of a garden so we can see what goes on above the ground line and below the ground line. Now, when you plant vegetables in your garden, like a tomato plant, you'll plant it in the ground and then the tomato plant grows. All of its growth in vegetable is above the soil, meaning the only thing going on underneath the soil is the root system, because the tomato will flower and bloom and turn ripe on the vine and you just go out and pick it off. Some vegetables grow underneath the ground and you don't see them until you pull them up. They're called root vegetables. Vegetables like potatoes, onions, beets, carrots. So that's what we're going to draw today. So here's an example of what you're going to draw. Here is our ground line. So this is what grows above the soil, all of the leaves and the foliage. And then here is what goes in the soil. This is where you'll find the vegetable of a carrot, a beet, and an onion. So this is the perspective as if we cut a garden. We did a cross-section cutting of your garden so we could see underneath the soil and above the soil at the same time. So this is an example of what you're going to draw today. Now, here's what you need. Whatever you're going to color this with, you need to bring with you. It can be markers, crayons, color pencils, watercolor paint, all of the above. It's your choice. But you need a white piece of paper, your pencil, and an eraser. So grab those things and I'll meet you over in my studio and we'll get this drawing done. Okay, friends, welcome to my studio and let's get started. So you've got your white paper, your eraser, and your pencil. All right, for this drawing, we are going to turn our paper vertical. So make sure you turn your paper the long way. Vertical. All right, the first thing you're going to do is draw your horizon line. So in the middle of your paper, put your finger and then come over to the side. And I want you to draw a horizontal line going all the way across your paper, just like that. This is going to be the line. This is going to be everything above the ground, and this is going to be everything that's below the surface of the ground. So we're going to draw a carrot, a beet, and an onion. So the first one we're going to draw is the beet, and we're going to put it right here in the middle. And a beet is kind of round, kind of ovally round shaped. So you're going to draw a big circle. Don't worry about making it perfect. We're not looking for a perfect circle. We're just looking for a round shape. So draw your round shape. Then over here on this side, we're going to draw your carrot. Now think of a carrot as a long, skinny triangle, but instead of having points on the end, we're going to round those points off. So the top of the carrot will be up here, and we're going to come out a little bit on each side with kind of a rounded edges, and then we're going to bring two diagonal lines like this right here all the way down, super long, but we don't want them to end in a point. We're going to make them end almost in a point, but we're going to round that point off. So what it looks like is a long, skinny triangle. And then over here is going to be your onion. And again, an onion is kind of round, oval shaped. It's not a perfect circle, so we're not looking for anything perfect, but we're going to make another round shape right here, but not as round as our beet. So now we have the outline of our carrot, our beet, and our onion. So now we're going to draw the tops up here. On a carrot, the top of a carrot has very long, skinny stalks. So we're going to draw some parallel lines like this. So remember, parallel lines are two lines that run side by side, but they do not touch each other. And 3 is enough. If you want to put 4, you can put 4, or you can just do 3. Now, the top of a beet are short, fat leaves. So we're going to do about 3 leaves. So I'm going to turn my paper this way to make it a little bit easier for me. And I'm going to draw a curved line like that and a curved line like this and have them meet right there. I'm going to do the same thing right here. And then a curved line back down right here. So that's 2 leaves. And then I'm going to come back here and I'm going to put one right in the middle. And we don't see the bottom of this leaf because it's hidden behind these 2. And we'll put these little, they're called veins. We'll put these little veins inside these leaves right here to make them look more like leaves. Now on top of our onion, onions have long, skinny stems coming off. So we're going to draw long, skinny leaves. Now we're going to make these meet at a point right there. Not like this. These were just parallel lines. We'll do the leaves on these in just a minute. But these are going to be long, skinny leaves. And we're going to do a bunch of them. Because when you look at fresh onions, like in the grocery store, they have these long, skinny, green leaves. And I'm going to let that one run off the page. I'm going to put one right here that kind of goes behind those leaves. And put one right here that goes behind there. And I think I have enough there now. All right, going back over here. Carrots have leaves that look like little lines like this that come off the edge of their stems. So we're going to draw some little lines like this right here. And it's totally okay if they touch and overlap. You kind of want them to do that. And then down here, we're going to put just a few little lines for details. In our carrot, I'm going to put a few little lines like this. And then maybe come on down to the bottom like this. On our beet, I'll put a few little lines right there, but I'm going to have some roots that grow off of our beet like this. And then on our onion, I'm going to do lines like this, and my onion is also going to have some lines. And some of these lines will be long, some of these roots will be short, some will be in between. So I think that's about enough. Okay, so that is our drawing. So now it's ready for you to finish. And it's your choice. If you want to outline it in Sharpie, you can. Just don't forget, if you're going to use Sharpie, put that blotter paper under there so it bleeds through onto the blotter paper and not your table. If you don't want to outline it in Sharpie, you don't have to. It is your choice. But I'm going to show you 4 examples of finished ones I did just to give you some ideas of what you can do with this. So here's my drawing. So now if I were to use Sharpie, this is where I would do my Sharpie step. So if you do Sharpie, outline all your pencil lines with Sharpie and don't forget to erase your pencil lines that your Sharpie did not cover. So here's one that I did. I did it in Sharpie. You can see my Sharpie lines. I colored most of it with markers. I did use some color pencils. I used a sky blue color pencil back here in the background. And then here I used a very light gray. And I lightly, I'll enlarge that for you, lightly colored my onion because they're not totally white. So they have a little bit of grayness to them. So I used a color pencil on that. So this is Sharpie marker and a few color pencils. My next one, I also used Sharpie on. I outlined it in Sharpie. And then I used watercolor paints to paint it. So this is Sharpie and watercolor. My next example, I used color pencils. And I colored all my picture with color pencils. I did not use any Sharpie. I used color pencils only. And I'll enlarge so you can see, not only did I color this a little bit gray, I added a little tinge of yellow in there because sometimes yellow have a yellow tinge to them. I used different shades of green up here in my leaves. And I did orange and dark orange to have some shadows on my beet. And I'm sorry, on my carrot. And my beet, I mixed red or magenta and purple together to try to get that red-violet color that beets are. And my last example is a crayon resist. I colored everything in crayon, and then I used watercolor for the background and watercolor for my soil. Now, remember in crayon resist, I used a white crayon right here, and I colored my onion white with a little bit of black to give it that gray tint for shadows. But remember, watercolor will not stick to a wax crayon or an oil pastel, and that's how I did that resist right there. And I just painted right over everything because my watercolor would not stick to my objects. Same thing up here with my sky. So those are 4 different examples for you to choose from. So have fun drawing this cross section of a garden, and I look forward to seeing your awesome artwork. Until next time, friends, peace, love, and sparkles.